There are so many chords to choose from, but you really only need two to evoke an incredible range of emotions. For example, check out John Bryan's theme from Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. The first 30 seconds of this theme go back and forth between just two chords, one major and three minor. The chords are only a single half step apart. But that one little half step is enough to twist a happy major chord into a painful minor one. And if you've ever seen Eternal Sunshine, you know that it's just perfect. There are some people who have made these sort of dictionaries of chord combinations, like Excel spreadsheets with specific emotional formulas for every possible pairing of two chords. And that's not really what this video is. I think emotion and musical associations are very personal things, and what might feel sad to me might be sweet to someone else. So to me, one major to three minor gives a very bittersweet feeling. Another song that uses it is Hey There Delilah.
Hey there Delilah, what's it like in New York City?
It's the same pair of chords, and once again, it's optimistic, but a little sad. So my point here is not to give you a set of rules, but show you that you really do just need two chords to establish a mood, and hopefully I'll inspire you to experiment and develop your own vocabulary. That way you'll always know how to express whatever it is you want to say with your music. For a very different mood, we could try one major to two major. This pair feels bright and uplifting, so it's great for evoking adventure or flight. I made an entire video about the major 2 chord, so I'll put a card up here and a link down below to that video. Scott Murphy has an article, which I'll also link to below, about how using 2 major triads with roots a tritone apart is used all the time in film music to represent outer space. And it probably goes back at least as far as Gustav Holst's 1917 suite, The Planets. When you hear something interesting, pay attention. This is the whole point of music theory, not to make music boring and academic, but to be able to put a name to something so you can come back and identify it later, either by noticing when you hear it again somewhere else, or being able to use it in your own writing. So if someone asked me to write music for a video game set on a spaceship, I know that using 2 major triads, a tritone apart, is at least worth giving a try. Another pairing I love is 1 minor to 4 major. This has a very Dorian sound, and to me, a very specific association. So if I want to do a fantasy adventure, 1 minor to 4 major is one of the first things that comes to mind. However, it also makes me think of a completely different song. This is kind of my point about how you can't just make a spreadsheet of pairings that always work. There is nothing about that Pink Floyd song that makes me think of Zelda. It's not just the chords, but also the context. Harmony is one tool, and tempo, register, rhythm, instrument choices, all these other things matter too. But when you're listening to some music and you notice, wow, that feels really sad, or that feels perfect for this scene or this game, take a second to figure out if it really just needed the first 2 chords to make that happen. Usually it does. If analyzing music isn't really your thing, I made a whole video about how to approach it in a way that's actually useful, including a Notion template specifically to help you keep track of what you learn. Watch that video next so you can finally turn all the amazing music you've been listening to into something you can actually express in your own voice. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.